you. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Colin Jost. Senator Mark Kelly defeated challenger Blake Masters in the Arizona Senate race. Masters can now return to his true passion of, I'm going to guess, strangling hitchhikers? Donald Trump visited East Palestine, the site of the recent train derailment, because Trump usually tries to make himself look better by standing next to a train wreck. The train that derailed was carrying highly toxic vinyl chloride, which I think is something Trump recommended as a cure for COVID.
After this year's elections, a record-setting 12 states will have female governors, while the other 38 states will have dinner ready on time.
While visiting the disaster site, Trump also gave out bottles of Trump brand water. Said residents, thanks, but we'd rather drink the toxic train water. I just love that Trump is the one who rolled back train safety standards when he was president, and now he's giving the victims bottles of water. What's next? Is he going to visit all the migrant kids he put in cages and give them a gift card to Dave & Buster's? A 25-year-old from Florida will become the first Gen Z member of Congress. Younger, said Matt Gaetz.
Donald Trump said at a rally that he would make November 5th Christian Visibility Day. Wait, I thought that was called Ash Wednesday. The Florida Supreme Court has allowed the state's 6-week abortion ban to take effect. So now Florida's only remaining method for ending a pregnancy is roller coasters.
Rupert Murdoch this week officially turned on Donald Trump. First, the New York Post ran a cover calling Ron DeSantis Ron DeFuture, even though Ron DeFuture sounds more like a drag queen from outer space.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg visited the site of the train derailment and was criticized for wearing leather dress boots. But give him a break. That's all they had at Baby Gap.
After being found liable for defamation against 2 Georgia election workers, Rudy Giuliani was ordered yesterday to pay the hilarious sum of $148 million. You might as well just make it $1 billion. Because there's no way he can pay it. At this point, they only called Giuliani the mayor of 9/11 because that's all that's left in his bank account.
A new poll finds that New York Mayor Eric Adams' approval rating is just 28%. Now that sounds low. Independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy admitted in a new interview that he flew 2 times on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet, but only to make sure none of those girls were vaccinated.
Already? Giuliani, amazingly seen here in better times, said during the trial that it was an accident that he attacked the plaintiffs repeatedly on social media, with the judge noting, there's a lot of accidents going on. Said Giuliani, oh, you could smell that?
The House Ethics Committee released its report on George Santos, seen here asking your grandma for her social security number, and concluded that there is substantial evidence that he used campaign funds for shopping and cosmetic procedures. Santos would have denied the allegations, but he had to rest his new lips. That was my best joke, Colin.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said next week she will force a vote to oust House Speaker Mike Johnson. And if there's one thing I bet she's amazing at, it's driving men away.
Yesterday, President Biden released a new video with Barack Obama in which they remind people that Obamacare is still available. But according to polls, people really want to know if Obama is still available.
Florida governor and Dallas Cowboys cheerleader Ron DeSantis explained why so many residents failed to evacuate, saying some people just don't want to leave their homes, which is why sometimes you have to trick them onto a plane to Martha's Vineyard.
Georgia Representative and cocaine bear Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted, "The country needs a national divorce," which makes sense because she is the most divorced-looking woman I have ever seen. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is releasing a new memoir called The Courage to Be Free. Even though The Courage to Be Free sounds like a Black History book, he's banned.
During an interview, Elon Musk, who looked like the ghost of a guy who died in a 1950s drag race, was asked if he was anti-Semitic and said that he was in fact philo-Semitic. You know, another answer would be no.
One of the founders of the Black Lives Matter movement announced that he is supporting Donald Trump for president. And I'm going to assume he announced it during a traffic stop.
On his website, truthsocial. I'm going to guess scam, Donald Trump denied reports that he was so depressed after the 2020 election that he stopped eating, saying, quote, "It was not that I was not eating, it was that I was eating too much." Wow, good save. That's like when a rumor went around middle school that I had peed my pants, and I was like, joke's on you, because I actually pooped them.
If convicted, Hunter Biden could be sentenced to up to 17 years in prison, which would be the first time any Biden has successfully completed a sentence.
Victor Manuel Roca, a former U.S. ambassador, has been charged with spying for Cuba since 1981. And that's why Cuba is the unstoppable superpower they are today. Republican Representative Derek Van Orden, who looks like if Santa stormed the Capitol, argued in front of legislation to bring whole milk back to school cafeterias, saying that almond milk wasn't milk because, quote, milk comes from a mammal. Then he whipped out his nipple and said, "Allow me to demonstrate." President of the University of Pennsylvania has resigned after appearing to dodge questions about genocide during a congressional hearing on campus anti-Semitism. She will be replaced by literally anyone who knows you say genocide is bad. The whole crazy part is that the whole point during her speech was that free speech on campus should never be punished. And then she was immediately punished for her speech.
Oh, man.
Officials at Harvard announced that school president Dr. Claudine Gay will keep her job after she apologized for her poorly received congressional testimony in which she seemed to downplay campus anti-Semitism. In her heartfelt statement, Gay said, quote, "Did I do that?"
Melania Trump made a rare public appearance when she attended the funeral of former First Lady Rosalynn Carter, who died at the age of 96. Melania said that she was deeply saddened to be reminded that your partner can live that long. Elon Musk met with Benjamin Netanyahu this week and agreed that Israel must destroy Hamas. And I think Musk could destroy Hamas almost instantly by becoming their CEO. Nikki Haley received an endorsement from New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu, which would be helpful if anyone knew who that was. A new report shows that for the first time, the majority of billionaires last year received their fortunes through family inheritance. And not to brag, but I inherited my family's learning disabilities.
Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has signed a new law banning public drag performances with a 6-year prison sentence for repeat offenders. As first predicted in the now documentary, Madea Goes to Jail.
Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is under fire over a picture of him from 1957 where he looks on as black students are stopped from entering his school. Okay, so maybe Jerry Jones was a racist back then. But tell me this, would a racist own a team full of the strongest black men he could buy to work on his field?
A Tennessee state senator said the bill will prevent kids from being, quote, blindsided by a sexualized performance in public. What are you talking about? Drag shows don't just pop up like flash mobs and sprinkle gay dust on your kids. I never accidentally happened upon a drag show, and I grew up in New York City. Now, I have been blindsided by a sexualized performance a few times, but that's just what you get when you take the bus.
Colin, you go.
Biden also took time in his speech to say that shrinkflation is affecting Snickers bars and that people pay the same amount for 10% fewer Snickers. And I got to give him credit because it's pretty risky for a white guy with a stutter to keep saying the word Snickers.
This week marks the 40th anniversary of the classic Michael Jackson album Thriller. And say what you will about Michael Jackson, but he definitely had a huge effect on a lot of people's childhoods. I don't know what you guys like anymore. The U.S. Energy Department concluded that COVID likely originated from a Wuhan laboratory leak and not a wet market. So I gave up eating bats for nothing? Newspapers around the country dropped the cartoon strip Dilbert after creator Scott Adams said he chose to live in a community where no black people live. So he lives in your building, huh, Colin?